So you've decided it's time to look for a home. You may have even started searching at least one of the many search platforms out there. But what are the steps you actually need to take and the questions you need to answer for yourself before you dive headfirst into the deep end of that search pool? That's what we're going to talk about today. Briefly, here are the main 7 questions you need to ask yourself before you start your new home search. How much do you have to spend? What kind of home do you want? What kind of neighborhood do you want? Where do you want to live? When do you want to make the big move into your new home? Do you want something that's move-in ready, or are you willing to do some work after the purchase to make it what you want? Will you shop on your own or work with a local real estate professional? Now, let's get down into the nitty-gritty of these questions. First, let's address the elephant in the room. How much do you have to spend? Because the answer to that question is going to have an impact on every other part of the home buying process. Are you paying cash or are you getting a mortgage? And even if you have the cash, is dropping it all in your house the best use of that sizable asset? The answer to that question is actually between you and your financial advisor. But I can tell you that the first step anyone looking for a home should take is to explore the mortgage process and determine how and if it fits into your plan. And if you know you'll need a mortgage, like most of us do, then getting mortgage pre-approval is absolutely your first step in the home buying process, because that will answer that initial question, how much do you have to spend? For more details on getting mortgage pre-approval, there's a link in the video description below to a video I've done previously. Now that you have the answer to your budget question, let's talk about the kind of home you want. What property style do you want, and what can you actually afford? Condo, townhome, villa, single family? And how are they different from each other? It's a lot to wrap your head around, so let's take a quick look at each. With condos, you pretty much own everything inside your walls, including the actual interior walls. You also own your assigned parking space or garage, and your share of the common areas like the clubhouse, the pool, the grounds, the building exterior, and the roof. Different condo associations manage different parts of the common areas, and the association documents will spell out the individual versus the group responsibilities. Because that's complicated, the state of Florida mandates that by law, you have the right to study the condo docs for 3 days if you're purchasing a resale and 15 days for new construction. And you have the right to rescind your offer for any reason during that time period. But remember, this is only for condos. It doesn't apply to any other kind of housing. Now, townhomes and villas are kind of a cross between single family and condos. They're typically attached to one or other townhome or villa by a shared wall, kind of like a duplex. But in this case, each side is owned individually. You'll usually find connected rows of townhomes, just like in big cities or towns, thus the name, townhome. Most villas are connected in pairs or groups of 4. Some are detached, like single family, and some are attached in larger groupings. How they are managed and who has the responsibility depends on the original documents that were written and how the board has maintained those documents over the years. Individual townhome and villa ownership usually includes the piece of land on which it sits, different from condos. Sometimes it even includes some extra lawn, but it usually comes with some use restrictions. Those will be spelled out in the association documents. Townhomes are usually 2 to 3 stories, while villas are usually 1 story. Single family homes are what most of us think of when we think of a house. It's not attached to anyone else's. You have your own yard where your kids or your pets can play. Another part of figuring out what kind of home you want is deciding what kind of floor plan you want, including the basics, like the number of bedrooms and bathrooms you need. Maybe you want an extra room, something you can use as an office, a homeschool space, a craft room, or the proverbial man cave. Perhaps you want a 3-bedroom home, but you want to use one of those bedrooms as one of those extra spaces we just talked about. You can actually shop for a 2-bedroom that has a bonus room or an office or den. Do you want a 1-story home, or are you okay with walking up and down stairs? That might depend on your age. It might depend on your physical ability. You might be thinking of a home search in an established neighborhood, but you could also consider new construction. And maybe instead of traditional neighborhood, you'd like some acreage. And don't forget about the parking. What kind of parking you need and how many cars do you have? What kind of neighborhood do you want? Some neighborhoods are simple and straightforward with no extras, no homeowners association rules. However, most neighborhoods have at least some rules, and some of them have lots of rules. Maybe you'd like a couple of amenities, like a neighborhood pool or perhaps a playground. But maybe you'd really like an amenity-rich lifestyle community with a fitness center and a pool, sports courts, maybe even a restaurant. Maybe you'd like one where they take care of the lawn maintenance for you. You might want to live in a gated community or one with a golf course and a country club. Or perhaps you're looking for something with beach and boating access. Just remember, all of these amenities come with some kind of fee, monthly or annual, or maybe just in your taxes. The more amenities, the higher the fee. You might be planning to pay for a lot of these things anyway, so why not have them all in one convenient package? It's a lifestyle choice. What do you want yours to be? Location, location, location. It's all about value. But what's valuable to you may be completely different to what's valuable to the next guy. So the bottom line, where do you want to live? What's ideal? What areas have what you want for the price that you can pay for or afford? Maybe you know someone who lives in a neighborhood you like, so you know exactly where you want to be. You know already that you can afford the homes in that neighborhood. Now it's just a waiting game, waiting till the right home comes on the market for the right price. Or maybe you have kids and you want to be in a certain school district. Maybe you're just ready to move to your dream location, whether that's a rural setting, suburban life, or a walkable downtown area. Timing is everything. So when do you want to make this big move into your new home? Do you need to start shopping now, or can you take your time? There are lots of things that can impact your timing, such as you need to relocate for work, or you're renting and you want to move before you have to renew that lease. Maybe you have kids and you want to be in your new home before the new school year begins. The size of your family is changing. Either it's growing bigger or smaller. What's prompting your move, and is there some urgency that impacts the timing? The next big question, do you want something that's move-in ready, or are you willing to do some work after the purchase to make it what you want? The answer to this isn't straightforward. It falls on a bit of a continuum from, do you want to move in with no real work to do? Or are you okay with moving in and making the changes you want over time? Or it's a major project and you can't even move in till you get some of the bigger things done. It's a lifestyle choice. Do you have the time for projects? Do you have the ingenuity for the projects or the resources to hire the ingenuity? My husband and I did a big makeover once and the end result was great. But I don't think I realized until recently how incredibly lucky we were to have the support and resources of lots of family members close by to get us through it. The final question of the day, will you shop on your own or work with a local real estate professional? You may think that cutting out the middleman will help you get a better deal. That's not actually how it usually works. First of all, at least 90% of home sales in the U.S. are done with the assistance of a realtor. So if you don't have one, the seller might think they have the advantage over you. Secondly, choosing a realtor means you have professional a professional working hard to find the right home for you and your family. They'll get to know you and all your preferences and tailor their search to fit you and your family. And they already know the area and what neighborhoods are likely to match your criteria, or at least how to build the search to yield the best results for you. And of course, if you're looking in Florida's Suncoast, Bradenton, Lakewood Ranch, Sarasota, Venice, you'll want to contact me. Are you overwhelmed yet? Don't worry. Though this is just the beginning, the end result is you walking away from the closing table with the keys to your new home. So it'll be well worth the time, the effort, and the money. In the meantime, use the checklist in the description below and start taking stock of what you want in your new home. It will give you and your realtor the parameters you need for refining your search. Most importantly, have fun. This will be one of the most exciting things you ever do. I hope this video was helpful. If so, please click that like button below and then hit the subscribe button and stay tuned for more. And take a look in the description below for some helpful resources. I'm Darlene Nelms with S&N Real Estate, wishing you a great day living in Sarasota.